Hi everybody, hello my friends, welcome back to this little video episode of the F Words of Life. I'm super excited to be back here with you today and back in my little nook. If you do use Facebook Live at all, I noticed on Monday I had done a lot of testing on lighting and sound and how the visual looked in the background, and when you record on your regular, I have an iPhone, when you record on your regular iPhone camera, it actually reverses the words for you that are on my banner, my backdrop. But when I did it on Facebook Live on Monday, it did not. So I did some research, and there is a way if you use Facebook Live and you need to reverse something so that the words are in the right direction, you can flip the screen. However, it's really bizarre because it literally flips everything. So if I move this way, I actually move the other way on the screen. So this is a new adventure. I told you guys this is trial and error, but really the whole goal is just to be here for you and support you in your personal development and growth, which I'm super excited to have you on live as well as watching the replay. Yesterday again, hey Mr. Adam, thanks for being on live, buddy. So yesterday again, great responses. I want to give a shout out to Yvette. She was the first one to jump on and say what she was going to do to honor herself and do some self-care. So thank you for engaging in that way, Yvette. I really appreciate that. And all of you other ones, Adam, you did as well. You definitely took the foundations to a whole new level. Hey, Miss Jenna, thanks for being on live. So today, before I start, again, I just want to say thank you again for your support. Let me know how I can continue to support you in everything that we're doing here at the F Words of Life. And yesterday we talked about the fundamentals, and the fundamentals really are the foundation for everything. I believe this next F word, and we're going to just go ahead and jump right in. If you're watching the replay, hit like, give me some comments, give me some feedback. Thank you for those of you that are here live. I really appreciate it. If you have questions, pop them in. I'll try to keep an eye on the comments as well. So I really want to talk about the second F word of life, which is faith. And faith is very much tied to the fundamentals, to be quite honest, because I really don't believe you can live without faith. Faith gives us hope, and it gives us something to look at that's greater than ourselves. And faith doesn't necessarily mean religion or any particular spirituality in the way that I want to talk about it today. Now, it does have those components, and we can talk about those components on another video. And definitely as we get into deeper trainings moving forward, we'll talk more about that. But what I want to talk about today specifically is how faith plays into you manifesting what you really want in your life. So I can see Jenna and Adam on, so if they want to manifest something specific in their life, how does faith actually play into that? And part of faith is understanding my personal belief through the past 20 years, again, of research, of reading, of studying, of going to trainings, of going to seminars, everything that I've done over the past 20 years in studying spirituality and psychology is that we actually co-create our reality with the universe. And I use the universe because it's most comfortable for me, and you can insert the word God, you could insert whatever word, the higher power, that means for you in terms of something greater than ourselves. And so what I personally believe through all my studying, through all my meditation and prayer, through all of my journaling, and through all of my own experiences, is that we co-create with the universe. Meaning, I want to give it just a really fun example here. So I believe that the universe has laws. So there's the law of gravity, for example, right? We really can't debate the law of gravity at this point in our existence as a human race, I would hope. And so the universe has laws and principles in the same way, and there are spiritual principles that are very similar. And so let's take going and planting something into the ground. So just a very physical law, cause and effect, right? So let's say we're going to plant carrots, and we go out into our garden, and I think it's carrot seeds. I'm not a farmer, but go with the analogy. So you're going to plant your carrot seeds, right? You're going to dig your hole, you're going to bury your seeds, you're going to cover it back up, and then you're going to water it. And you're going to allow sunlight to get to it, and you're going to trust in the process, in the law, that if every day you tend to that, Every day you make sure it gets enough sunlight. Every day you make sure it gets enough water. It's in the right temperature. Maybe it even gets fertilizer, right? You're going to trust the process that at some point underneath the surface is going to pop up a carrot, right? This stalk of a carrot that's going to grow above the ground. We're not going to go after 3 days and start digging up the seeds wondering what's happening, right? This is what we do in our own life. We create a vision. We say, these are the seeds, these are the seedlings, this is what I want. I want to grow this carrot, right? I want this new job. I want this new career. I want this new relationship. I want to be more healthy in my life. Whatever it is. And we put that vision out there and we kind of plant it into the soil of the universe. And because we don't have faith and we don't have trust that the principle works in exactly the same way as it does when you plant the carrot seeds into the ground, we start undermining the process. We literally start digging into the ground, and then it's like, okay, well, now you've messed up the process, or maybe there were some roots growing that broke, and now it's not going to work, right? We're going to keep interfering with the process. And so when you create your vision, and that is an important piece of the process, and we're going to talk a lot about that during the F Words of Life through the evolution of the F Words of Life. What is your vision? How are you casting that? How are you setting goals, right? Because first you have to know what you want. What do you want to grow? Do you want to grow potatoes or do you want to grow carrots? That's a very important distinction. So what do you want in your life? What do you want to manifest? Where do you want to see more abundance? Is it in your bank account? Well, we're going to talk about finances in a couple of days. And when we talk about, in about 3 days, when we talk about finances, we're going to talk about mindset around that, because it's not just your bank account, it's what you believe. And so let's use that as an example, though, to say, hey, I want to increase my financial abundance. Well, if you're taking all of the right steps and at the same time you're telling yourself this is never going to work, no one's ever going to believe me, as an entrepreneur I can never succeed, and or maybe it's the thought of I'm not worthy to receive more in my bank account. You know, there's the conscious and there's the subconscious. What we have to do is we have to bring to light the subconscious of your thinking, because that does 99% of your thinking throughout the day. 1% is the chatter that you actually hear and pay attention to. So what we have to do is we have to bring to light, how are you digging up the seeds when that's when you want to leave them alone, right? We want to let them manifest and gestate, is that the right word? So that they can come to fruition. And that takes time. That doesn't happen when you say, okay, here's my vision, right? Brenda, I got it. Here's my vision. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take these steps. And then boom, it's supposed to happen tomorrow, right? That's how manifestation works. That's what The Secret said. Well, no, it doesn't quite work that way. What we have to do is we have to be diligent. It's a both and process. It's not either or. What do I mean by that? It means we absolutely have to set the intention, right? And then we have to reinforce that intention with our self-talk, with our self-beliefs. And we can do that through affirmations. We can do that through a lot of other ways as well, which we'll talk about here in just a second. At the same time, this isn't just about you sitting in a room all by yourself and just saying a mantra over and over and over. You're not going to manifest anything if you just sit inside your house and expect people to come knock on the door and hand you buckets of money. That's not how it works. You still have to do the footwork. And so what I say is, if you do the footwork, and if you have the right belief system behind that, and you're not going in and undermining yourself with negative thoughts and negative thinkings and the feelings that this is never going to happen, you have to go back to that faith that the universe is supporting you, but the universe also has to see the diligence from you in taking the steps and putting out the frequency. It's almost like radio waves is the way that I think about it in my mind. Right? And so if the radio wave that I'm putting out is, I'm never going to make more than X amount of money, or I've reached the maximum in how successful I can be at my job or my career, or you know what, I've done the best I can as a parent. This is as good as it gets. This is better than my parents did, so that's just going to have to be good enough. If that's the frequency that we're putting out, even if we're doing the right footwork, right, we're taking right steps and at what seems like right actions, again, remember, mentally, subconsciously, we're digging up the seeds. We're interfering with the manifestation process. And so we have to go back to faith in the laws of the universe, which means what you put out there is what you get back. What you believe predominantly in your brain is what you will create in your life. So yes, you have to use fertilizer, Adam, in your life, which isn't a great F word. So we have to fertilize. How do we do that? Great segue, Mr. McPherson. What we do is every day we have to be intentional. How are you waking up in the morning? Are you wake up in the morning going, oh my God, here we go again, another day of drudgery and dread, right? Because maybe you are going to a job where things are less than perfect. However, what I personally believe is you absolutely can affect those by how you show up and by the intentions that you set and you repeat over and over. Now here's the interesting thing. My background also is in cognitive psychology, and our brain is an incredible, way beyond what we can understand even to this day. But one of the things that have been shown through study after study after study is the subconscious and the unconscious brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. Okay? So, have you ever had a dream that a shark, we were being attacked by a shark and you woke up in a panic? Because your brain thought it was real. But was it real? No, you were laying peacefully in your bed. The same thing you can do consciously. This is where the idea of vision boards and things like that came from, is keeping visuals in front of you. Because if you say, this is my truth. So in other words, you know what? I'm able to impact 100,000 people's lives every year because I seek to serve. And because I truly want to help them live their best and highest life. And that's the vision that I'm seeing every day as my truth. That is my truth, as if it's already happening. That's what the subconscious is going to grapple with. Because there's this other thing called cognitive dissonance. And when you put a picture in front of your brain and say, this is the truth of my situation, right? And you have faith in that, and you're doing the footwork, because remember, it's faith and footwork. It's not just faith alone. It's faith and footwork. When you do the footwork and you have that picture in front of you, your subconscious brain, and I personally believe the frequency of the universe, will start to align and bring things into your life that seem coincidental. Seem like, where did that come from? And this has happened to me a lot in the last 6 weeks or so. Since making the decision to officially launch the F Words of Life, a women's mastermind that I'm very grateful for a month ago suddenly manifested itself, where I was able to provide live training to 11 amazing women. It was a phenomenal experience. But to anybody else looking outside, it would have been like, oh, well, that was a happy coincidence. No, it wasn't. I set my intention, and suddenly things started to happen and come in. Now, does this work perfectly? No, because we're not perfect beings. And so again, I'm not saying if you say today, I want to make $1 million by next week, and you pray and you pray and you believe and you believe. No, it doesn't happen that way, because time is also a factor. Remember, go back to our gardening scenario. When you plant the carrot seeds, the carrot doesn't grow overnight. There is a process, and how well you tend to that process is what makes it work or not work. And so, let's say you set a goal, right? Let's say you set a goal of $100,000 or $50,000 or something like that, and you hit it 75% of the way in the time frame that you thought. But, 6 months ago you thought you never could have done that. Are we still having success, right? Is that a building block now that we can build upon? And so my goal is to keep these Facebook Live short. I'm not doing the best job. My goal was originally to be 5 or 6 minutes, but they're going more towards 10 and 12 minutes. Hopefully you guys are getting value out of them. We are going to be going so much deeper on this. I do want to tell you, I'm not going to be doing Facebook Live every single day for the rest of eternity. I'm really doing it this next 7 days so that we can spend time together, 10 or 15 minutes a day, going through each individual F word, so you can start to expand your mind. This isn't about giving you all the answers today. I wish I could. I'm giving you enough that I want you to start thinking about your life in a different way. I want you to start thinking about, where can you raise the level? Where are you living in mediocrity? My latest blog, if you go to the fwordsoflife.com, the latest blog is on the word fine, which I believe is like the worst word when you ask somebody how they are. They're doing fine, right? That means you're in the middle of mediocrity. And so go read that blog if you need some inspiration. There's some journaling questions at the end too. So there's free content on the website as well. Please dive into it. Please give me your feedback. The blog gets updated about once a week with new content. But what was I saying? Oh, so I'm not going to do Facebook Live every single day forever, but I will do longer trainings so that we can dive into each one of these components in deeper ways, so that I can give you practical applications and tools and techniques to continue to raise the level. But again, I want to whet your appetite here and really get you thinking about, what do you want your life to be? 10 years from now, what would you regret if you didn't do? Maybe even 20 years from now, looking back and going, man, I remember that moment where I had an aha and I saw how my life could be, and yet I didn't follow it. And so that's what the F Words of Life is all about. It's about providing you this community, this tribe, if you will, of like-minded people, and then providing you the tools, the techniques, the trainings to go along with it, so that we, and I always include myself in this because I'm growing with you guys, that we can continue to grow together and manifest our best and highest life. But at the core of it, first, the foundations that we covered, the fundamentals that we covered yesterday, which is the foundation, the fundamentals, right? Your self-care, and then layering right on top of that, faith. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be back live tomorrow. We're going to talk about fitness and specifically how that relates, because our physical energy obviously is going to play a huge part in how we can show up and manifest what we want in our life. So as I wrap this up today, I want to thank you guys again. I never have this scripted. I never know exactly what's going to come out. I have always a theme and a couple of ideas. But I hope you're enjoying this, and I hope it's bringing great value to you. Please watch the replay if you didn't get on live when we first started. Give me feedback in the comments. Let me know how this is going for you. Hey, Molly. Great to see you. But let me know how this is going for you. Let me know where you're struggling. You can also just private message me on Facebook if you want to as well. A couple people have done that so far. Give me feedback, ask me questions, and we're going to continue to evolve this community of the F Words of Life together. I do ask you, again, if you haven't already, go to thefwordsoflife.com. Make sure that you put your email address in so that I can keep in touch with you and send you great content once a week. And then there will be a free downloadable quiz that you have once you put your email address in. Also, really important that you follow me on Facebook, on the F Words of Life Facebook page, the actual business page, as well as Instagram. Because once I go through this first week or so of doing Facebook Live on my personal Facebook page, I'm actually going to switch it over and be doing it from the F Words of Life Facebook page in that community, so we can build the community within that page, so that the comments, the suggestions, we can actually create a community inside that page. So there's much more to come, much more training. Again, I appreciate you guys. I'm so humbled just to be your servant, to help you live your highest and best life and all 7 F Words of Life. And until tomorrow, I'll probably be back around the same time tomorrow evening. I'll try to post an hour or so before I'm ready to go live. And if you can jump on live, I appreciate it, because I really do like seeing comments or questions like Adam threw in. It makes me think. It makes me feel like I'm not just sitting in a room talking to myself. And again, my goal is, and my hope and my dream is, that you get value out of this, so that you understand you can live your best and highest purpose in life. I have faith in that for you, and thank you. It's been an honor to be here with you guys this evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.